2, 3, come on!
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to be with us in this very first live session from 21 Draw with our guest, Benjamin Cerbai. We are waiting a couple of more minutes in order to receive the people and take their seats. So please be a little bit patient. You can leave your comment and let us know where are you coming from, and also what type of art are you interested in. So feel free to leave your comment and we will start in a little bit of time. You're very welcome. So we are super excited to have you guys here. I see people from New Mexico. I see people from Louisiana, England, Brazilians, and the Netherlands. Okay, bedankt, people from the Netherlands. Yes, we are already 114 persons here in our streaming. We're also distributing the content into YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So also feel free to share this and go to your social media networks. Colorado, Sweden, wow. Rio de Janeiro, muito obrigado. Guatemala, hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay, UK, I'm both 3D and 2D. Love it. So you are in for a treat with our guest, Benjamin. We're really excited, guys. Thank you so much for participating. This is super cool. Israel, Texas, greetings from Canada. Okay, 2D character animation, gradually looking to improve my drawing skills. You're in the right place. Yes, Cassandra. Thank you so much for joining Arlington, Texas. A lot of people from the US. Here in Germany, I'm based in Germany. This is 6:03 p.m. So thank you for joining for every part of the world. Okay, so I think let's get started. My name is Gerardo Garcia. I work for 21 Draw as Global Talent Director, and I've been working with the company for a couple of years. We are very excited to start this live session. And feel free to drop your questions, feel free to drop your doubts, and we will be able to address them to Benjamin. And yes, let's take a look of what's coming. Okay, first of all, some announcements. We have for you some art tips and deals. Go and subscribe to our newsletter. You will receive an ebook completely free with 30 pages, so you can learn and improve your artistic journey. We will also have 6 free yearly memberships for you guys, so you can get it for $230 value each. And we will also have a surprise of 10 yearly Calipegas. This is thanks to our guest, Benjamin. Yes, follow us in our different social media channels. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. So feel free to drop by and give us a like. Okay, so who is 21 Draw? Anybody knows? 21 Draw is born in Sweden a decade ago, and it began as a Kickstarter project. We didn't have so much money, so we only got a chance to hook up with 21 artists. So that's where the name comes. A lot of people have asked us, what's the name, what's the meaning? So it means that we started with 21 artists in the city of Stockholm as a book company. Here you can see. A lot of people also don't know that we have the books. And this is how the company started, trying to improve everyone's journey with the best tips and the best teachers as artists. So here, this is one of my favorites, 100 famous artists from 21 Draw. If you don't have them, go to our website and take a look, because you will be in for a treat as well. Yeah, so can we go back to the PPT? Yes, thank you, JP. We also want to make art education affordable for everyone. And we want to work with artists, top artists, to provide quality in teaching, the best quality in teaching. And we want to grow alongside with you guys. This live session is because of you. So thank you everyone that requested it, and they were like, okay, what about interviews? What about live webinars? What about live sessions? So here we are. Thank you. And yeah, so let's move on to our main thing. So yes, who is Benjamin Cerbai? He is a co-creator of Calipec app, which we will deep dive in the next couple of minutes. He is also a 2D animator, and most importantly, he's a storyteller. So, JP, can you run the video of Benjamin? Let's take a look at his work. Great. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for being here. Hi. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for the invitation. It's really an honor to be the first guest.
Yes. Thank you. For everyone out there, he is Benjamin. Where are you based, Benjamin? Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your background. Let's explain the audience a little bit about the struggles, everything. But first of all, let's get to know the person, Benjamin. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm Benjamin. I'm French, and I'm from France, obviously. So I'm based in northeast of France, and the Calipec team is based also there. We are a small team of 5 people developing the application. And regarding my journey, basically, I like many artists, I guess, I always wanted to draw. Basically, I never stopped drawing, because many people stop, because every kid is drawing, basically. And I discovered comic books at first, and then the manga in the 2000s, so Naruto and so on. And I wanted to be
a manga
artist. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to be a manga artist with Dragon Ball and Naruto, and also some more dark ones like Death Note. So that gave me the idea that we can tell stories with more than one image, basically, because I was more about illustration at start. And then I just started to look into the DVDs of my Disney, Pixar, and so on animation movies. And I started to understand that people are making the movies. And it's not something obvious when you're a kid that people are actually drawing, Pinocchio and so on. So when you discover it, it's like, okay, it can be a job, and it can be something to learn. So I started to draw more, and making some animation shorts that never that I never achieved, because I just did the pre-production, and then I started because it was like, okay, it's too long, and I want to do some other stuff. And yes, that's basically what I did. And I wanted to study in animation schools. There is a lot of animation
Mhm.
schools in France, like Gobelin, ESMA, Rubica, and so on. But it was and it still is too expensive for me. So that's also why I do a lot of online courses, whether on YouTube, on platforms like 21 Draw, because it makes it available and you can learn from artists already in the industry, for not that much money. So it's nice to learn that way. And yeah, I started to learn myself, and I did some studies in fine arts in the city I'm based in for 3 years. And I don't know if you want me to just continue about my journey, because I
Yes,
can.
please. Let's
Yeah.
let's go little by little. Of course. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for that brief intro, Benjamin. I think it's quite interesting. Let us know, how was it that you mentioned that you started doing your own
Mhm.
shorts and animations. At what age was this? When did you realize, okay, you know what? I don't want to be an astronaut. I really want to
Mm.
be an artist. And how was coming up, and the support from your family, your friends? How did you discover this
Mhm.
intuition?
I know that from always, basically. I always wanted to draw, and I don't remember it, but my mom told me that at 6, I told her that I want to draw, and even if I have to go far away, I will go draw there. So it was early, basically. And the way I started to make some animations, it was about 12, I guess, because I have the chance to have grown with YouTube already. So I started to learn from many different people. And if you are just, I don't know, if you are just 10 years older, there was no YouTube, and it's a big way to just learn alone, to have that. And yeah, I started to make an animated short film when I was in not high school, but before that. I'm not sure how to say it in English. Maybe
Primary school,
second,
primary school. Yeah.
maybe when you are between 10 and 15. And I
Mm.
started to do animation there. And I also discovered some tools like GIMP and Blender, so you can also learn with open source and free software. So it was a big thing to discover at the time. And yeah, that's basically what I did. And regarding the support of my family, we always knew that we couldn't afford big schools and like spending thousands of euros just to be in a school, but they always were supporting. So they bought me books, and we did a lot. We go a lot to the theater, and we watch a lot of movies. And when there is an exhibition of art, I go there and I can learn like that. So I know that
So
my
you
parents
were exposed
motivated
from
me.
this. You were exposed from this since a
Yeah, yeah,
quite
yeah.
early age.
So there
Cool.
is a limitation of budget, but not a limitation of okay, learn, and it's not a silly job. There was no comments like that. So it's a lot of help, and I had luck to be in a supporting family and friends. Yeah, they are happy to have someone who can draw. I guess just to when I'm little, draw some magazines or draw some cards so we can play with. And I also remember I traded. I'm not sure some
Yes, 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 yes.
cards of Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know if you know Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mhm. Yeah, I know it. I
In
know it.
exchange of drawings. So in the schoolyard, I just was with my drawings, and I was exchanging like if I was a drug dealer, but with cards and drawings.
Yeah, sharing the art high to the
Hmm.
students.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. And how many years you've been doing this, Benjamin? What would you say? How many years does it take you to be a professional animator?
Or I started to do animation more seriously, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe. So really to learn and
Mhm.
to see courses and to try a bit more. But my situation is might be a bit atypical in a way, because it's I don't work in a studio. I talk a lot with people in the studio because I do some interviews in French on my YouTube channel with people in the industry. But I mostly do animation for myself, so I have the luck to just draw whatever I want and use that as demonstration for the application or just my tutorials. So I don't have the studio experience, even not the clients directly experience, but more about the independent artist. And I would say that animation can seem a bit mysterious at the start because you don't really know how.
Why, Benjamin?
Because when you see animation, I guess you think that you have to make 24 drawings in a second and so on, that you have to draw everything, and that's not really the case because you have to divide your poses in different drawings, but you have to expose your drawings for 2 or 3 frames, so there is a lot less drawings that you think, and it's a lot of work, of course, but it's not as complex as we would think of it. And you can also start pretty quickly because even with just a flip book, you can start animating simple shapes and understanding the principles. So um, once you just don't have the fear of starting anymore, you can just start and doing small projects and small shots, and that's what I advise. Basically,
It's a
to
thing.
do
It's a
some
thing
small.
with the artist, right? It's a thing with the artist that they always want to be so perfectionist. They want their art to be so great that
Yeah.
they're like, okay, I must buy the highest equipment. I must buy this and that. But the thing is to start, right? To piece pen and paper and just
Yeah.
go away with your creativity. Nowadays, you have a lot of tools, information, great platforms, of course, like 21 to learn. But yeah, to start, right?
Yeah, and also to start on something that is big enough to be a challenge, but not too huge because it have to be achievable. So if you want to make an animated shot, for example, you say, okay, this week I want to animate a bouncing ball and make it a character with some eyes and maybe some floating arms. That's a nice goal, I guess, because you have a week to just understand the principles and start over if needed. But you don't say, I will make a short film right now and I never did any animation. That's a nice goal, but
Yeah.
maybe on the side and building month after month. But you have to have some short exercises, I guess, even in drawing and illustration also.
Okay, cool. It's so interesting, Benjamin, because we have some people commenting and they say, like, yeah, I started recently in TV Paint, and somebody, Cassandra, says that my animation journey started on a Flipnote studio. And somebody also mentioned that Tom Cook also started with just a flip book, right? So
Yeah.
just start.
Yeah, and
Yeah, cool. And you, sorry.
yeah, and because it can be difficult to also see what other people are doing. So just as a quick like a quick mantra, you can use other people as examples and what you would like to achieve and some advices and so on, but don't use them as something to compare you, like I'm not good enough or something like this. So you can just have inspiration and not self I don't know the word in English, but being too much in the comparison and feeling bad about it. Just use them as inspiration, and you will do your own way at some point, and it's okay.
Cool. Very interesting. Very insightful. Very nice. So tell us about the projects that you are working on, Benjamin. As let's say an independent 2D animator and storyteller, what kind of projects do you have at the moment, and how do you handle them? How do you manage to get the structure and deliver in each one of them?
Yeah, so my main project is a short film. So it's my first real short film, I would say, because it's a 5 minute story, and it's more complex than what I did before. And I think it would be called Beyond the Tides, because it's a story of a fisherman who discovers a cube, like a kind of metallic, mysterious cube, while fishing, and then the cube will start to move and do stuff, basically. So that's my main project, and it's really long because I don't work on it full time, and I also have some side projects, like I want to learn more about 2D animation and more about 3D animation also. So I have really tiny projects just to animate a little character, just to learn I don't know. I want to do some lip sync animation at some point to make some characters talking. So I just jump from one short story to another while having the short film, which is a bigger project, which takes basically years. And also I do my editing and video and Calipeg and so on. So that's for the like the communication part. But as an artist, it's basically that.
Okay, cool. You were mentioning Calipeg.
Mhm.
JP, can we go back to the presentation, please? Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about what is Calipeg, Benjamin.
Yeah, so Calipeg is a 2D and drone animation app. So it's made to make pose-to-pose traditional animation, but with digital tools. And we started to make it at the end of 2019. So we had like a 6 months prototype, and then we made a Kickstarter, just like you did in the 21 Draw, just to have the first start. And we started to sell it on the iPad App Store in April 2020. So it will be 4 years really soon. And the goal here was to make an animation tool we want to use, because we are using the tool to make our own animation. And for example, in the demo you have seen just before, everything is made in Calipeg exclusively. So from the rough animation to the lines and the colors and so on. And the main goal here, I would say, is to be simple enough for everybody to use. It's also a nice way to learn as a kid, for example, if you want to teach. That's what I do also. I teach to kids. And it's also made to be complex enough for professionals. So that's the challenge of it. And that's not easy to achieve, because it's the both sides of the whole spectrum,
Yes, of
And
course.
so it's a traditional animation, but you can also add some transformation layers to make some keyframe animation. So you can transform and have some automatic interpolation with your animation. You can add audio, you can add videos, you can add images as a reference. You have some onion skin tools, out of pegs. You have different kind of exports also. So maybe we can share a bit of the video.
Yes, definitely. Just to bring it up to the table, a lot of comments, like people are up for Procreate Dreams.
Mhm.
Somebody says, I'm too broke for Adobe product.
Ah,
I use handwriting, Clip Studio. So a lot of different tools, different
mhm.
environments. We're super happy that you guys are letting us know. It seems like pen and paper are the most popular and the go-to favorite from everyone, but a lot of people got a lot of different tools. So
Yeah.
let's show, if we want, the video and the demo from the app, and maybe you can explain us a little bit about it. Please, Benjamin, let me know when to press play if you want, and I will do so.
Okay, so you can go, and so here it's onion skinning and out of pegs possibilities. So you can just move onion skin around, and you can also
Mm-hmm,
here
mm-hmm.
you can see that onion skin is really important, because in 2D animation the main challenge is to keep the volume of your character. So if you do an animation, you will see really fast that then your character will be like morphing and be strange, because you have to keep the volume straight. In a 3D animation, in 3D, you have your model already made, so it will always have the correct volume in a way. But
Mm-hmm.
here you have to have some drawing skills, of course. And you can see here we have some
Yes.
references to have some images around
Mm-hmm.
floating. You have some color palettes. Here you can see that I also paint in Calipeg, because it's like a
Yes.
sketchbook. You just have one
Mm-hmm.
frame for each drawing. So that's also my go-to sketchbook, just to do some observation. And
Mm-hmm.
you can also export to different types of software, and that's an important part of the app, because you can start here and then export and go to TV Paint, Harmony, After Effects, Blender, OpenToons, Clip Studio, and keep your timeline. So the main goal here is to be a part of a pipeline, because we know that in a studio you never work on only one tool. You just go from one to the other, and it has to be compatible. So that's the main goal here.
And to how many formats is it compatible, Benjamin? Like all kind of animation formats?
You export to either a video, an image sequence, or a special script, which is a JSON or OCA files. And from the JSON and OCA, you can import into different types of software and keep all your timeline. So if you go to After Effects, you will still have your curves, and you will still be able to work on every frame, every timing. It's not just a video.
This is quite cool, Benjamin. What are you doing here? Explain us, please. What are you doing with these little dots?
Oh yeah, here it's you can animate while playing the animation. So you just create one long sheet of paper, and you cut it just with an icon, and then you press play and you just draw, and it will record what you do. So you can animate some rain, some fire, some bugs floating around, and it's really more fast to animate that way on tiny stuff for little effects.
And more fun. It seems super fun as well.
yeah, that part is really nice.
Yeah.
And
what about this one?
Oh, that's the cycles. So you can make some animation loops. And I can see some questions in the comments. Someone is Raphael is asking, do you think Studio Ghibli would use Calipeg for their productions? Basically, it's a bit difficult to know. Yeah, hopefully, but it's a bit difficult to know what studio is using Calipeg because it's on the App Store. So maybe Disney is already using it and we don't know it because it's a complementary tool for animators. I know that some 3D animators are using it to make some rough paths before going to 3D, but it's not a studio stuff. It's just the animator taking an iPad and starting here and then going to the other software. So maybe it is already. We don't really know.
We must investigate the iPad of Miyazaki, and then we will be able to find out.
Yeah.
Great. We can see also that here you have some interactions with your hand, right? For better interface use.
Yeah, we have some gestures, and I think we can see it a bit earlier that we can flip with 3 fingers, and it's just like you would flip in your 2D paper. So the goal here is to emulate at best the feeling, like here, the feeling of 2D animation on paper, but with all the practicality of the digital. And I can also see someone telling that it's only for iPad for now, because we are also developing an Android version of Calipeg. I can say it now because we have started, and it will be there as soon as possible. It will be a bit long maybe because we have to write everything again for the other system, but that's on the plan.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much for your explanation. I see a lot of people are asking. We will, of course, let you guys know when Benjamin will be collaborating with us. This is, of course, something that we are cooking at the moment. But first, we wanted to let him explain us because it's so amazing that you are an animator, painter, businessman, YouTuber. What's going on? How can you deal with all of these things? And most of all, the artists that I know, they're a little bit messy, not to hurt anyone, but they are so creative that it's hard for them to keep them structured. How do you do that? And how do you keep yourself motivated, Benjamin?
I don't know if I'm perfect in that way, but I have to jump from one task to another every day. Basically, today I just made some editing for an interview, and then I'm here. And before that, I just scheduled some posts. So I have many different jobs all at once, and I try my best to have like a weekly plan. And it's not that structured because I'm only me, and in the company we're just a few people, so it's kind of easy to organize. But I try to have some goals in the week. Okay, I want to post that many videos. I want to shoot 1 or 2 interviews, and also the artistic goals. Like I want to finish that shot, I want to make some storyboard, and yeah, to keep organized. But I don't have really a specific schedule, and it's really a bit freestyle, you know. But the
Yeah,
goal is
freestyle, that's the
yeah
word. Freestyle,
at the end
yes.
of the week, the goal is to have what I wanted to have. And for the videos, it's a bit easier for me because I made that for 8 to 9 years now, the YouTube videos. So I can do it pretty quickly in like in 2 days. I can make one video very complete and so on. So that is the easy part, and the more difficult is to keep the artistic uh, things going on at the same time. So I do my best to draw whenever I can, some observation, some still life, some painting, that kind of stuff. And the luck I have is that I can use that in the videos also, because I can do some live stream while I'm modeling a background in Blender. I can create a tutorial about how I do an animation. So it's not for a client, but it goes into the company machine also, because I can use that as a asset to teach animation. But yeah, to keep motivated and inspired is not really easy. So that's why I try to have some ideas that floats around basically. And
Yes.
I know that I want, for example, I have one idea in a note that I want to animate a squirrel, you know, with the wings floating. So
Mhm.
that's something I want to animate at some point. So I start to gather some references, and I just have a tiny folder with that. And whenever I'm ready, I will just okay, I will do that for a tutorial, and then I will start working on it. But always be kind of active. Note some stuff, even if you do that 2 months from now, it's not it's okay. So just stay in the activity, and just be yeah, aware that ideas can come at any time. Just have
Mhm.
a note with you just to write it, or even to sketch on an application or anything. And from there you can start to build stuff. And I also like a lot to share the process. So that's what I also advise to artists. Just make
Yes,
some
to get
stories.
feedback and yeah.
Yeah, and also to get known for your artworks, because it's in today's world, it's not particularly the best one who can be the most popular. So you can also be like normal in a way, talented enough, but not Da Vinci, you know, and still have people knowing your work, and also knowing you, your personality, and so on. So I
Yes.
think it's nice to just share a bit of how you do it, how you fail sometime, how you achieve stuff. And
Yes.
you don't have to be an influencer to do that. You know, you don't have to share all your life. But in the week, you can have 2 times where you just share, okay, I started to draw that, and be simple about it.
Definitely. So I saw one very on point comment that it says time management, basically,
Mm.
right? Like having your goals and, okay, by the end of the week, I want to achieve this. How am I going to do it? Maybe I don't know, but I will freestyle what I need to deliver, right?
Yeah, that's when you have deadlines, it helps. The problem is I don't have many deadlines, because the only
Hmm.
deadlines I have is with outside people. But for the company itself, basically we do as many as we can, and then we release something when it's ready. But we don't have specific deadlines, you know, for each week. So yeah, I just try to work on the morning whenever I can, because that's where I'm more focused. And maybe for some less thought needed tasks, like coloring, for example, my animation, I know that I can do that while watching something or listening to a podcast. And also the video editing is quite long, so I try to compress whenever I can. So I play the videos at 2 times speed. So basically, 4 hours in the day, I just listen to people saying, then I just cut, you know. So I'm used to listen to myself 2 times speed. So it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit strange. But that way you can just make some time blocking, and I know that for 2 hours it's only video editing, and then for 2 hours it's only I don't know, writing a video. So just have not too many distractions. And even if you have only 4 hours of productivity in a day, it's already great, because you can say that you did something, and it's concrete. You have a post, you have a character design, you have a storyboard panel. So try to have every day a bit of something that you can say, okay, I did that, and that you can show to somebody. And that's how I plan my days.
Very good, Benjamin. Thank you for that. So what I'm trying to understand is that time management, very important, setting up your goals and try to do them as you go. Also try to use social media. I know nowadays many artists tend to be shy, and they don't want to show themselves. Maybe you can find creative ways to do so, but I think in our times it's very necessary, as you mentioned, to share your art. So what better way to do it in social media, trying to get noticed. As you mentioned, you don't need to be the 20 million follower guy, but just being there, right? Like having some references, maybe your booklet, so people can get to know your work. You already have your website, so this is very, very useful nowadays, right?
Yeah, and my website is pretty young, because I made it 6 months ago, I guess. I remade it to be really clear. So when you go on my website, or on the 2D animation part, you see the demo reel, and then you can go to illustration, painting, and so on. So that's important to have both a website, which is your like the shop in a way. I don't know how to say it. That will be the main part of your work. There, it's all clean, and everything is really clear. And on social media, it can be a bit more messy, and that's okay, because it has to be more organic,
real,
and
more real, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you can just and even if you don't want to show yourself, because I show myself, because I talk to the camera, and I do classes, but you can also just show your work, and you don't even have to speak. So you can just have a smartphone shooting some stuff, and then you can make a 15-second Instagram reel, and it can be spread really easily. And then the paradox of it is that it's easier to be seen, but it's also harder to be seen, because there is too much people. So there is a balance to find, and just don't put yourself too much pressure, because you can live out of your art even with a few clients, and you don't have to be like the millionaire artist, or I don't know. Because I'm not either, and that's okay.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. Guys, please feel free to drop your questions to Benjamin. We will have a Q&A session at the end. So if you want to know something, I already see some really cool ones, like, do you read any European comics, Benjamin? What advice do you have for a late bloomer artist? So let's keep those in mind. I will anyways mention them later. But yes, so you guys can drop your questions there. JP, thank you for going back to the presentation. Thank you so much. So we're going to take a look at your work, Benjamin. For example, what can you tell us about these illustrations?
Yeah, so that was made in, I think it was 2018. So it was for the Inktober, the 30 days challenge, 31, 30, I'm not sure, 31. And the goal here was to make one illustration every day. So that was made on paper with ink. And then I scanned it, and I made it a little art book. So that's my one and only art book. And I made it like by myself, self-edition. And the goal here was just to see how possible it was for one person to print like a few dozens of books, and then sell it. So it was nice to do that. And you can have now, basically, I just did go to Google and say print my book, and then I was to printmybook.com. There is a lot of websites like that, and I was able to print maybe 40 books, and then sell a bit of them. So what focused on here basically is the composition, because when you work on a white paper, you can use the white, the blank space also in your composition. So
I
on the
love
one
it.
with
I love it. Already, I can say, and sorry that I interrupt you, Benjamin.
sorry,
The work with the light, the one in the middle, using exactly what you mentioned, the whites, and then the one in the right, that it's dark, and then you are transmitted. It's completely very, very cool.
Yeah, and for that, I love the work on Cerbai, a French artist. He's using white pages and with many different details, but it's always really clear, and the composition is always telling the story. So that's what I try to do the most, and also focus on some composition lines. To, for example, in the one with the light at the middle, I made a triangle with the light, so the two characters are in it, and then you can just focus on it, and also the clocks are pointing down, so you can go with the eye to the characters. That kind of stuff that I learned from illustration and also from storyboard.
This is such a great tip, guys. The clocks pointing down drive the focus of attention to the characters. That's very ingenious, Benjamin. Very cool.
So that's the thing I love the most of about creating images, is how you can just place the different elements, and then you can magically focus the eye of the viewer. And also in animation, you have to focus on how it will go from one shot to the other, and how the eye have to know where to go. So all of that is really technically managed by an artist.
Very cool, Benjamin. Let's jump to the other one. And here we have a little video. I play it, and then maybe you can explain us a little bit about what's happening. What are we seeing in this composition?
Yeah. So that's my short film, Beyond the Tides. And that's a work cycle I made for my character. And if you notice, it's the same character you see in the demo reel, but it's another version of it, because that's the final version, where it is much rounder. And I did a lot of work in character design just to make it simple enough. You can see the beard; it's only 3 shapes, because I have to animate it. So I don't want fluffy beard like I have here, So it has to be simple enough.
Me too.
And it's only three heads scale. And maybe you can see it in the inspiration, but it can be the same scale of Mario, the video game. So it's just one head, one belly, and then the same size for the legs. So you can use different kind of characters and mix them together to get your character. And that way you know that it's possible to animate them, because you already see some animation of that character. And you can also take some simplification advices, from that. And so just about the technical challenges here, to make the cube, you can see just a bit of the top of the cube for a few frames. The cube on the right.
Sorry, here it is.
Yeah. So when it's walking, you have to feel the volume of it, and that's why it's important to have some basic knowledge about anatomy and volume. So if you want a simple exercise, take some simple shapes like cylinders, cubes, spheres, and draw them in different angles and spaces, because it's only simple shapes.
Take notes. Take notes, guys. Yes.
So here it's only simple shapes, and on the right side you can see the work in progress of the modelization I made in Blender, because the short film will be 2D animation for the characters and 3D for the backgrounds. So that's what I want to achieve, at least.
Yes, you can see that it's a little bit heavy, not so heavy, but it's a little bit heavy, and that's why he makes the movement a little bit closer. The arm is always closer to the body, right? Very, very interesting. And what about this one here, Benjamin?
Yeah, so I made that in Blender, and I also do some 3D modelization and also texturing. I start for the texturing, and I also make some 3D animation. So I started to make some bouncing balls and so on in Blender. And here I want to have a mix of 2D and 3D. And the main challenge will be to make it composited well together. So with nice harmony and with a nice like the same type of colors, the same type of textures. So I'm still in the development of that. I'm only myself on it for now. And
Yes.
I also do that in live streams. So you can see me modeling and trying to do stuff, and people in the comments telling, okay, go here on that tab. Oh, okay, that's the tool here. So you can also learn from people, and that's great.
Nice, super cool. Already we have a comment of somebody saying the animation of the character carrying the bucket reminds me of an early Studio Gilby film.
Oh, thank
So
you.
that's probably a good compliment to you,
Yeah,
Benjamin.
of course. Thank you.
Super. So, guys, you guys have been asking for it. We will, of course, have an upcoming course with Benjamin, and it will be about what will it be about, Benjamin? Tell us a little bit. When can the people log into our platform? I think it's scheduled around April. That's what I heard from a little bird. So, tell us a little bit about it, Benjamin, please.
So the course is about the 2D animation basics. So it will be about a walk cycle. So maybe I will take the same kind of walk cycle of that character. Maybe simple. I don't know if it's maybe too complex for now. But the goal here is to understand the basics of animation, so how to make things move. And also in a walk cycle, it's nice because it's like I said in the start of the live, it's challenging enough to be difficult, but it can also be achievable in in a week and you work on it. So that's it's a basic exercise, but complex enough, you know. So I will do that in Calipeg, and it will also be kind of a course about how to use Calipeg within a production. But you can use any 2D animation app. It can be really something on an iPad, computer. You just have to have a timeline and different layers, and we won't be dealing with keyframes or specifics. So it will be really anybody friendly, I guess. And the goal here is to make you less scared of animation, and in a few hours you can have your first animation, basically.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. So you guys already know, keep an eye open for Benjamin's course. We will have it, of course, exclusively in 21 Draw around April. So also subscribe to our newsletter where you will be able to win a free ebook with 35 pages of knowledge, very valuable knowledge. Also, follow the comments in our different social media, and you will receive you will be available to choose one of our 6 free yearly memberships with a value of $230. So keep an eye on the comments, participate, and we will also have a 10 yearly Calipeg accounts. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for that. And we look forward for all your comments, and we will choose the winners randomly the day of tomorrow. So keep an eye open. Thank you, Benjamin. Let's move to this one. What can you tell us about this animation?
Yeah, so that's what I did just before the walk cycle, and I made some variation in the character design. So the turnaround is made to like verify that it works, because you have to know your character from every angle. It's not as complex as a 3D animation, but you have to understand how big the belly is, how shaped will be the shoes, and so on. So here I have only 8 drawings, I guess. So there is not that much, but you have to be really consistent. And for example, here you can see that the head and the beard are kind of a skull, if you think about it. You know, a stylized skull with the tooth. So really simple shapes, and also focus on the overlap. You can see that the nose is going over the eye, so you can understand which is over what element. So it took 2 days, I guess, to really be sure of my animation here. And on the right, that's just some storyboard panels I made. So it was before character design, but I already had in mind some elements of the character.
Great, great. Thank you so much for that explanation, Benjamin. Let's take a look at also not only illustration, but you also do digital painting. Is that correct? Can you?
Yeah.
I love here the composition of the leaves. Different colors. You can also perceive the shadows. I really like how you manage here the lining that goes into the leaves of the trees, right? Doing this angle. So what can you tell us about some tips when drawing digital paintings?
Yeah, so just as a start, the one on the top left, so the entire panel with the trees and so on, are made by observation. Observation. So I was in my garden and just painting what I saw, and the other ones are from photographs. So there's a bit of difference because when you draw from life in front of you, there is some lighting changes, and you have to choose the composition. And in a photograph, it's already chose for you, so you don't have to be the composer of the image. So it's also nice to mix
Mhm.
both of them. And what I focus on mainly is the colors and the way two colors in next to one another can create some contrast. So that's why I
Mhm.
love to play with some lighting effects, light and shadows. And I also learned that colors are not as simple as we think they are, because we are used to, for example, here my computer is gray, but if I have another light, it can seem a bit blue or a bit red. So I won't have to choose the same color, and you have to study and train your eye to be more skilled about choosing the colors, because it won't tell you the truth sometimes. It will tell you, no, it's gray, but in the reality, it's blue now. So you have to deal
Yeah.
with that and really simplify your shapes, and don't draw too fast. You can really uh, pause and think about what you will draw next. So in digital tool, it's easier to erase and to go back and so on. But I advise to just do, for your training at least, as if you were on paper or on a canvas. So don't erase, just put another layer of paint over it. And that way you can try and learn to be better at painting, I guess.
Great, great. I like it. I like it a lot. Really, how you play with the shadows, how you give the whole ambient and the intimacy of this. Is it like a classroom, or is it like a doctor's office, or what is it? I see a Korean flag here, maybe ancient medicine or hospital or something.
I'm not really sure, because I just did go on Pinterest, and then I searched for
Aha.
interiors or exteriors, and then I just follow the flow of images, and some are catching my eye for the composition
Mm-hmm.
mostly, and also the colors. So for that one, also you can see there is a lot of details. For example, in the cupboard, there is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
books, but if you see the paintings, there is only a few strokes. So
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
mean,
you
this
don't
is
have to
only
draw
like
anything.
one line. This is
Yeah.
only like one line. This is also, but it plays so good with the shelf and the lining. Very, very interesting,
So you have to
Benjamin.
simplify, and that's part of drawing from observation. You can't draw every leaf on a tree. That's not possible. So you have
Mhm.
to choose the correct ones. And for that, it's important also, I guess, to see some other artists and to watch how they simplify the strokes, how they use some blurry lines to just shape more details. And you can analyze that from different artists and try to replicate some style, and then you will come up with your own way to do stuff, because you don't have to worry about style, I guess. It just
Mm.
do stuff, and then you will make it your way naturally.
Very good. Thank you so much for that, Benjamin. Let's also, yes, we look forward to having you guys in the animation course provided by Benjamin in April. So keep an eye open for updates. Follow Benjamin, please. And there was a question that somebody was asking, like, where am I supposed to follow him? Go to at Benjamin Cerbai in YouTube, benjamincerbai.com, and also at Benjamin Cerbai for Instagram. You can also check out the channels of Calipec app. Very easy. You just type in Google Calipec app and you will be redirected to it. Before our Q&A, we will also jump to the new courses that we have also from very talented artists and different topics like 3D digital lighting and shading from Lera Kiriakova. Also Procreate, people were asking about Procreate courses, so go there and check out this course by Isabel Stau. Really, really nice. And also I saw some people for analog painting. Of course, we have watercolor for beginners. So go check them out. Don't forget to sign up for the link in the comments. We will share you the information, so be sure to follow us and keep an updated look into us. Now, we're going to go to the Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
And the first question from the audience, dear Benjamin, says, Cornelia Bea, is there any chance to become an animating artist when starting to draw in a later age? I always quit drawing because I was disappointed of my own drawings due to perfectionism. But with 21 draw, I now started gaining hope. What do you have to say about animating at a later age?
I would say that it doesn't have to be a career also. You can also just animate for fun and just for personal projects. So it's important to not always want to be like the pro version and make money from it. It doesn't have to be if you don't want to. So for animation, I guess that there is no age limit, because basically in animation, a particularity is that people in studios or also clients will see your demo reel. So whether you are someone starting or a more of a senior experience, if your demo is good and if it fits to what the studio need, it will work basically. But I also, as an independent animator, you can work with also just normal people who wants to animate a clip for their amateur rock band, or it's really possible to make animation in many ways and not just in the studios. That's important to know also. So I would say that if you're interested in animation, whatever your age, just start and show what you do, and it might interest people, and maybe you can work with them. So don't lose hope. Basically.
Great advice. Thank you so much, Benjamin. We have another one. This, I don't want to ask it, but of course it's there. Maybe you can shorten it a little bit. What are your opinion on using AI on animation?
On animation, I guess it depends on what it is. If it's generating a complete animation, then it's not doing animation. That's the main part of animation, is to make your animation. But if it's used, I don't know if it already exists, but if it's used to make some interpolation, you make your animation, and then there is some kind of tool that can fit between the two poses. It's like filters or something you can have on other software. It's like 3D animation. In 3D animation, you don't do every poses. You also have some curves that you have to spline and so on. So maybe that would be a nice tool, and also to generate some rendering. So if you do your 2D animation and then you can apply a painterly effect over it with the tool, it could be nice also. But I never used any of that, so I don't know even if it's possible or not.
Yeah, I mean, at the rate that AI is advancing, it's so exponential. There's a program out there called Sora that really creates incredible videos out of text. So it's crazy. But I love your comment at the beginning, like if you're not doing it, it's not animation, right? Like that's the main part of the animation. I think
also
maybe
the fun part is to make it.
Yes, exactly. Good. Thank you for that. Let's move on with the questions, because we have like 10 extra minutes. So, Benjamin, do you read any European comics? Do they give you inspiration? Which one is your favorite?
I don't read that much comics in general, but I read some classics from time to time. So I'm not really aware of the new stuff. But I read some. I don't really know if it's no, it's not European. It was Lightfall, something like this, and I think it's from the States, so it's not European. But I watch a lot of artists doing some comics and some graphic novel in France. I don't have any name in mind, but my Instagram is full of them. So I watch how they do, but I don't read that much at the moment.
Cool. What about movies? Do you have any favorite movies?
A favorite? It's a big thing to talk about. But I love
Yes.
the early Pixar movies. For example, Monsters Inc. and The Incredibles, were both my like part of how I built my imagination and what animation could do. I also love some Ghibli movies, like everybody almost, I guess. And I love a lot of short films also coming from schools. So there's a lot of also 3D animation, which is emulating 2D animation a bit, and that's a mix that I like. And for example, the Ninja Turtles recently, where it's 3D animation and you add some lines around it and you make it steps, so it means like it's each pose after one another without interpolation. So that way, it's kind of stop motion, and I love that kind of rendering now. And yeah, regarding movies, I watch a lot of different movies, animation, not animation. There's a lot to talk about, I guess, but it's hard to focus on one in particular.
Yes, yes. Yes, I see one that caught my attention, Benjamin. This is from Cassandra Altman. And she says, like, she wants to become an independent animator, but some friends of mine are saying I should be looking to apply to work at the different studios. Since I want to do my own animations, I'm afraid that my artistic vision might be lost. Should I focus on my own animations or should I join a studio? Of course, this is very personal, and at the end, dear Cassandra, you will have the last word. But Benjamin, what do you have to say about it?
I think it depends of if you want to live out of animation or not. If you have another job that you like and you want to do your animation on the side, it could be a solution. But if you want to work only in animation, I know many people who are working in a studio and then on the side building a short film or making a independent video game. So it takes a long time, but you can do animation at work and then do your own projects. And so I guess it should be nice to even have an experience in studios if you have the occasion, because it's not a lifetime job when you go to a studio in France at least, but I think it's like that anywhere. You go here for a project, so it can be 3 months, 6 months, a year, and then you have to look for another job. So it can be a short experience, and then if you don't like it, you just start doing other stuff. But since it's not that big of an engagement, if you are capable of going into studio, I would suggest to just try it to see if it suits what you want. That's also
Amazing.
a
Thank you so
personal
much.
opinion, but
Yes,
yeah.
yes, Benjamin. Yes. What are onion skin tools? Animation newbie, Queen L. What
Yeah,
is an onion skin tools? Yeah.
Onion Skin is showing the previous or next drawing in transparency. So if I'm working on that pose here, I have to see that one here and that one here, so I can understand the volume and keep it consistent. But many animators say that it's more of a cleaning tool when you want to make your animation cleaner, because when you animate, you just flip to see the movement. Because if you focus too much on the onion skin, it might be difficult to be in the flow of animation. So there are like two schools of thoughts for that. But that's it for the onion skin. So it's an important tool to have to be consistent in your animation.
Perfect. Thank you. How do you gain the confidence of knowing your art is good enough to present to the world?
That's a big one also. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure I think my art is that good, because I don't I just do stuff and then I share it. So there is not really I don't focus on should I show it or not. I just send it here. I did that, and sometimes you did something in 2 minutes and people love it, and sometimes you did something in 2 weeks and there is not that much reaction and feedback. So I don't think you have to wait for the confidence to be there before sharing. You just have to deal with the feedback, and if people are commenting and doesn't like and don't like what you do, it's not uh, the end of the world. So yeah, don't wait for the confidence, because if you are not confident, maybe it will never be the case. You know what I mean? Because many
Yeah,
artists, even
definitely.
veterans, are not that confident about themselves. And you say, but you do amazing stuff, and they're like, yeah, but it's just like this. I can see that mistake here, and they always focusing on the mistake. So it really depends on the person also, and
Yes.
it's okay to not be that confident about your art. It might be great anyway.
Yes, perfect. I like this one. Is it important to have a diploma or more important to have a portfolio? Why? We insert the meme of the girl that says, "Why not both?"
Yeah. But for example, I have a art diploma, but it's not an animation diploma. So it wasn't based on animation at all. It was more about um, telling stories and building stuff, and it was about anything basically. And I added some animation in it, but the portfolio and the demo is the more important part of your work, because that's how we can judge if you're suited for the production or not. So you don't see the diploma. Sometimes you have to have some experience. So some studios are looking for people with 5 years experience, and then you can't go there if you don't have that. But many studios are looking for juniors also, who are just starting the animation, starting their animation career, so they already know how to animate. So focus on your work, and if you go to a school, I think just take it as a big class, and just take what you can from that. But the diploma won't be that important in that field in particular, because that's your skill that is the more important.
Great. Thank you so much. A lot of kind words from the people.
Yeah.
We are about to wrap it up in a couple of minutes. Guys, if you're watching, please leave some heart, some love for Benjamin as a thank you. And I keep this comment from Neptonic. He says something that it's very true, Benjamin. It says, a teacher I once had said something that always stuck with me. It's never gonna be good enough for you. It's always going to be shit. But post it all the same, because it's gonna be good enough for someone. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what it's all about, right? Like
And it can
artists are so
resonate.
perfectionist.
And
Exactly.
if you draw, I don't know, you draw a sad kid just like this, and you don't really like that drawing, maybe it will impact someone, and it will remind him or her of a story, and it will create something in someone. So it's okay, yeah, to just share.
Yes. Last but not least, before we go, animators have to wear many hats. Example: the script writing, storyboard, character design, etc. What's your favorite hat?
That's what I do as a solo artist working on my own movies. But for people in the industry, it's way more specialized. So animators will be animators. They don't do storyboard. They don't do character design. They don't do the compositing or the script. So if you do everything, then you can focus on one part you like the most. For me, it's more about the storyboard and the storytelling in composition, and also 2D animation. I like a lot, but I'm not as skilled for now as other parts, because I'm always learning, of course, the art of animation and of modeling and of character design. So I don't see myself as an expert really, but I know some stuff. And what you want to do here, I guess, is make your own short project, so you have all the steps, and then you can choose what you like the most. And if you want to make a career in storyboard only, it's totally fine, because studios are looking for specialists.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I
Thank
think
you.
JP, if you can play the presentation one last time, just to thank our viewers. We really make this with a lot of heart and a lot of passion from the team. Please also give it up for JP, who's behind the scenes. He's working with us from Colombia. And then we have Marianne Merur, who is in Berlin. So give it up for those two guys because they give a lot of their effort in bringing you guys this live session. And of course, all the team of 21 Draw behind. We want to bring you this in order for you to get to know who is behind our courses. These top artists are also persons. So we want to combine it and bring it to you. So as we mentioned, his course will be available in April. So don't forget to subscribe. Benjamin, do you have anything else to say to our viewers?
Yes, so just start making stuff and yeah, just start to build now, because when you do art or videos, it will always be lacking and there will be mistakes at the start. So do your mistakes now, and so you don't do them later.
Yes, I love this one. I will frame it. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, Benjamin.
Merci.
We hope to see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and join the courses with 21 Draw. So have a nice day. Greetings and peace.
Thank you very much.
See you guys.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.